Same idea in example 2, except now we have more variable stuff than we did before. I'm going to leave a space. Sometimes you have to leave quite a bit of space. And since these are adding and subtracting, I'm going to group them together in brackets. There's nothing I can simplify. Sometimes you'll get questions where in the individual fractions you can actually simplify a little bit, which will make your life easier. But again, I'm going to look at the 8 and the 6. I'm going to switch colors here and say, sometimes you just multiply by the other number, and that's not wrong, but that doesn't make the lowest common denominator. You see with 8 and 6, you can make it 24. So I could multiply this one by 3, and this one by 4, and 4. Now with my variables, this one has an x, that one has an x squared. So I would need another x here. I wouldn't need any variables in the second. So it's all right if we go all the way to our common denominator, which is going to be 24x squared. But what's going to happen on the top is that this 3x has to get multiplied by all of this, so you're going to have to distribute. That'll give me a 3x squared plus a 15x. And I'm just going to put that in brackets right now to show that that was what I got from my first one. And then I'm going to have to add, and what will I get from my second one? Well, this 4 will get distributed, so I'll have a 4x minus 28. Now in my numerator, I am adding, and I notice that I have some like terms. My like terms, I can put the 4x and the 15x together to make 19x minus 28 over 24x squared. And this would be my final answer. Does your textbook still put all the non-permissible values? I think they might, right? They might list that x can't equal 0 because that's our non-permissible value. So the same idea as before. In order to add fractions, we need a common denominator. Okay? It just got a little bit more complicated with the algebra because now we have to multiply a monomial times a binomial, distribute, combine our like terms. So we use all of those algebra skills from the past in solving this. And same thing is going to happen in B. I'm going to rewrite B and leave some space. So I have 3c minus 2. 3c minus 2 all over 3c's. Minus, oh, I said I'd leave some space, so I better leave some space. Minus, and the second one is c plus 8. All over 5c squared d. So again, I'm going to put these in brackets to say these are binomials, they would get grouped together. And looking at my numbers first, if I need a common denominator because I'm subtracting, this one's a 3, this one's a 5, so this one will need a 5, and this one would need a 3. Then I go to my variables. They both have a d, so that part is good. That one has a c squared, this one just has a c, so I'm going to need to multiply this first one by a c to get that common denominator of c squared. Now a technique that I did in the first one is really important for the second one. So the technique I did in the first one, I don't know if you noticed, I wrote my common denominator, so I'm going to do the same thing here. Then I simplified my first one, but I kept it in brackets just to hold it together. And I said, this will be 15c squared minus 10c. Then I'm subtracting, and then I put my second one in brackets as well. I'm going to distribute that 3. That'll give me 3c plus 24. And the reason that step was really important for this second one is because when you're subtracting, This subtraction sign in between these two fractions says you're subtracting this entire fraction. And when we put this together, that means you're subtracting this and you're subtracting that. So when I go to combine my like terms, I'm going to have my common denominator 15c squared d. I'm going to have 15c squared, negative 10c minus a 3c will give me negative 13c, but I will end up with negative 24, not positive 24, in the end. And of course, if we want to list our non-permissible values, we're dividing by c, so c can't equal 0, and we're dividing by d, so d can't equal 0. And questions for practice on this one are 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you don't get it fixed here, you can take it home.
I'm pretty sure I've told you this before. Psychic, you're psychic, right? Technically, I've only been
So you want to try it only here?
here in the report.
Bring more tools the next day.
Yeah.
Take more apart.
Wireless band, remote.
But it's kind of, it's interesting that I don't see where, maybe it's in here, you push those in, you just pop it in. Well, that, when you push that releases this. Oh, that might be.
Is there anything?
Oh, I'm wondering, see like those? Right, but I wonder if that's what you said. Oh, so that's just the, that's where it's holding this. So there's no thing on the bottom.
I don't know, my stickers are pretty good.
No screw on that. Only the screws on the bottom, take those two out and then that whole thing will slide out.